after 18 years. So we terminated it and we re-awarded it to a tractor. They are mobilized to site. And we have this section 5, which is at Maiduguri Township, and that is being done by CCACC, and that project is ongoing. And we have the Gombe to Bauchi project being done by tractor, and time will fail me to sell the project. But of course, in North Central benefited from the third legacy project of Mr. President, from the job that I didn't mention, that the Trans-Sahara trade route, which is the third legacy project of Mr. President, that the Southeast benefited 118 kilometers by 361 billion. We are engaging in first carriageway, at the moment. And so from there, the North Central benefited because the project is running from there to Benue, from Benue to Kogi to Nasarawa, and Nasarawa down to Abuja. And the total length of the project is 486 kilometers of road. We have the roads we took over from Bulletin that was terminated before administration, being done by 2 creeks. That project we have taken it over and it's being done by the Fox Concrete. And we also have the section that was being done by Jito. We've terminated that project after 80 years and we've redesigned it 66 kilometers. Work is ongoing. And of course, from Lokoja to Kenneth, we have 2 sections there being done by CGC. Work is ongoing. We have the Burugu Bridge that is ongoing. We have the Kasinala project that is going to cross that is ongoing. And of course, you have the Maraba Kefi that is ongoing. And time we fail me to mention all the projects. I don't know whether my PAM secretary, have I forgotten any zone? If I forgot a zone, you have to tell me. Let me commend Mr. President very highly for the 4 legacy projects. I've mentioned them. But let me say that the source of funding, and before I say the source of funding, I've already told you that we have 260 palliative projects totaling 208 million, and they're ready for commissioning. And we've agreed, subject to directive of Mr. President, that the projects will be commissioned zone by zone, and that we are going to have the press, going to all these 6 zones, like the Nigeria Road Transport Workers, National Assembly. So you will be involved in the commission of this project. And before I round off, let me say that I saw when people posted that we are going to London. I've never been to London in the past 2 years. I never discussed with anybody about going to London. I have too much work to do here, talk about going to London. And so we shouldn't, just take on social media and take it to the truth. Nobody discussed going to London with me. And let me say that for a minister to travel out of the country, the rule is that you must get written approval by the Mr. President. So this is social media jargon and should not be taken, seriously. Nobody discussed with me. I'm not aware. I'm not aware that any of the other ministers, they are aware. And so please disregard it and let us not join issues with social media. And let somebody help me to tell Mr. Profile, who is my very good friend, to please project very well. Because they would have sent a text to us before they began to condemn us. Even when I was governor, before I traveled out of the country, I had always taken permission from a city president. So I'm a man that is playing by the rule of the law. And so the policies that you have injected in the ministry, before now, when you give contractors mobilization, in fact, no contractor will move to site until you pay mobilize. But that's not what the Procurement Act says. Procurement Act says that the client may and not must. So we've changed that narratives. And in the contract agreement, we put it down that if after 30 days we sign contract with you and you fail to mobilize and work, then that project is assumed to have been terminated. And this is helping us because people have a lot of excuses and they seek for variation and say, look, we will not pay mobilized. That's not what the law says. In fact, you are required to have a certain amount of money in your own liquidity before you get find contractors according to their capacity and abilities so that we will give life to our local contractors. And let me also announce that Mr. President directed that we must grow the local contractors. We must grow our local engineers. And so we have a program which we call the YouTube program, whereby in every state we are getting 5 civil engineers that are not at work, and we are posting them to these 4 legacy projects and other mega projects of the country so that they can learn. We can't continue to use foreign contractors to grow our economy. You go to China, you find out who are working. We have to grow our people, and we introduce the first concrete pavement, which is very easy to lay. But the trick in it, and that's why they're fighting, is that you can do all the mess and cheating with asphalt, but you cannot do that with the first concrete. Because the moment the quality of the concrete is not there, it will fail in your face. But badly job with asphalt will last for 1 year. And that's what people talk, oh, FEMA is not doing anything. By the way, I've told the Minister of Information to please give my brother, the Honourable Minister of State, a day to come, and you'll be shocked with the intervention that FEMA is doing in all our roads. So we brought these innovations, and we brought innovations of very serious training. In fact, since the PAM Secretary came, we have had about 4 different kinds of training for engineers. And we also brought, a policy that if a controller of a state is not doing well, it's not pushing the contractor, it's not supervising the project, it's not able to give us account of the projects anytime we call, we record the controller, and they will be posted to my office. So every day we stay in the office and we greet ourselves. This is what we are doing. And so we have different funding, this thing. But let me, say about HDMI, which is the Highway Development and Management Initiative. This is a kind of PPP on our roads, which is what we desire. We desire for, I'm told to stop, but I will stop. We desire that, investors should come and they take over, most of these roads. But we are being very careful. I've written to ICRC to let me know the alternative roads, because the law says for you to give out any roads to be done on PPP and toll, you have to give an alternative road. So we are very careful. Because there's what is called pull-up, call-up shop, which is if you find money to do the road and you told it and there is interference, then they will have to now take money from federation account. We don't want when Mr. President is resting after 8 years, and when I will be resting after 8 years, and then for contractors that thought that, I'm about quitting, I'm not quitting. We are in this thing together, and we must change the narrative. So, we are being very careful not to change the federal government, not to change our people, not to mortgage the interests of our born children. And this is very important. So, we welcome PPP, we've handed over Biniasaba. And so the society should push for that contractor to start work. And that is handed over to African Plus. And so we are willing and ready to engage private sector to do our roads and toll it. But no road will be tolled unless it is completely done and in good condition. That is the directive of Mr. President. And finally, I don't want to be disobedient or be a member of Labour Party. Very disobedient. I want to comment, my Minister of State Works and my PAM Secretary and all the directors. But greater commendation goes to Mr. President. When he asked me to do Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, I drew inspiration from the Eco-Atlantic. When I was working in Lekki as a young engineer, people were selling off their properties within that axis. I know, there is one bank that had glass house that sold off in panic. IMB, very good. But Mr. President, a man of courage, a man of, I call him the Joseph the Dreamer. And the God has helped him to make flesh of his dreams. I commend him very highly. Our GDP is growing, inflation is coming down, our foreign exchange is impacted positively. The World Bank says we are not owing them again. Let's put put our hands together for Mr. President, the man, the roadmaster, and the man of our college. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I believe the Honorable Minister is that for a sound round of applause. Thank you very much. You may please be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much. May I remind you that the Honorable Minister of Works is the first civil engineer to be appointed Honorable Minister of Works in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. Without wasting any much time, permit me to